Once upon a real time, in a big city in Nigeria, a boy named Chuka was born into money. His father, Chief Namdi, owned the biggest construction company in the city. They built roads, they built estates, they built airports. They had everything: cars, houses, private planes, and even their own driver named Baba Femi. But even with all the riches, Chuka felt empty. He lived in a mansion with 10 rooms, but most nights he slept alone. His mother died when he was only 7. Since then, his father only cared about business. No hugs, no kisses, just money, meetings, and more money. On Chuka's 25th birthday, he sat by himself at the garden in their mansion. The cake was big, the lights were beautiful, but he felt nothing. He looked around. Why do they love me? He asked himself. Because I'm Chuka or because my father is a billionaire? That question became a shadow in his heart. In school, people called him Money Boy. Girls laughed extra loud when he talked. Boys wanted to be close to him. One day, he asked his closest friend, Uche, if I was poor, would you still talk to me? Uche laughed. My guy, no poor person can enter our school. Chuka nodded and smiled, but inside he cried. That night, Chuka walked into his father's office. He waited quietly until Chief Namdi looked up from his files. Papa, Chuka said, yes, my son. I want to marry one day, but I don't know who truly loves me. Chief Namdi squinted. You are my only child. You will inherit everything. The right woman will come. But how will I know she loves me, not the money? Chief Namdi waved his hand. Stop thinking like a poor man. Women will always follow money. That was not the answer Chuka wanted. Weeks passed. The feeling grew stronger in his heart. He started to think deep, very deep. One night, he had a dream. In the dream, he was walking on a street with torn slippers. His shirt was dirty. He saw a girl sitting under a tree crying. He sat beside her. She looked into his eyes and said, even though you look poor, you are rich inside. He woke up with tears on his face. That day, he made a big decision. Chuka went to his father's company. Easton Build Limited. He wore jeans, an old white shirt, and slippers. Nobody recognized him. He walked straight to the HR office and said, I want to apply as a security guard. The woman laughed. You? You look soft. He smiled and said, try me. She looked at his ID card. Chuka Obi. Wait, are you related to Chief Namdi? Chuka shook his head. No, ma. That's just a name. I need work. Please. The woman frowned. Okay, come tomorrow at 6 a.m. Wear a uniform. Chuka's new life began. He was posted to Gate 3, the back gate of the company. Hot sun, long hours, many insults. Other guards looked at him strangely. He didn't talk much, but he greeted everyone with respect. Some workers passed him every day and never looked twice. But one girl caught his eye. Her name was Adaeze. She worked as a cleaner in the company. She was quiet, humble, and always walked fast, like someone running from pain. One day, her bag tore in front of him. Papers flew everywhere. People walked past. Nobody helped. Chuka bent down, picked every paper, and gave her the bag. Adaeze looked at him and said, thank you, sir. He smiled. I'm not a sir. I'm just a security guy. She looked at him again, then smiled. Still, thank you. And that smile stayed in his heart. That night, Chuka sat on his small mattress in the guard room. He looked at the bag of rice his father gave him when he started the poor life. He cooked 2 cups, added small pepper, and ate in silence. He thought about Adaeze's smile. Maybe this will work, he whispered. But what if she finds out who I am? He lay back on the mattress. Rain started falling outside, loud and heavy. But inside Chuka's chest, something gentle was growing. Hope. The next morning came with thunder. Big clouds rolled across the sky like angry drums. But Chuka didn't care. He was ready. He wore the security uniform, dark green with black boots. No gold watch, no perfume, no air-conditioned car. He carried a plastic flask of soaked Gary and stepped into the real world. The company was busy. Big men drove in with tinted cars. Women with wigs and long heels walked past like queens. Nobody looked at the boy at gate 3. Nobody saw the billionaire's son. But Chuka smiled and waved at each person. Good morning, sir. Morning, madam. Some ignored him. Some frowned. One man even said, Shift, Joe. Poor people everywhere. Chuka only bowed his head and stood straight. The first lesson came fast. A cleaner dropped a mop bucket near his post and walked away. Someone kicked the bucket. Dirty water spilled into his corner. The supervisor shouted at him, Why is this place wet? You guards are useless. Chuka opened his mouth to speak, but the man raised a finger. Don't talk. Clean it, or I'll report you. Chuka took a mop and cleaned the water. His hands shook. In his real life, people served him. Now, nobody even knew his name. Break time came. The other security guards sat together in a corner, eating fufu and drinking malt. They laughed loud and slapped each other's backs. Chuka sat alone. He opened his flask of Gary and poured water from a sachet. He closed his eyes and drank. One guard named Musa looked at him and asked, Oga new guard, na only Gary you did chop? Chuka nodded. Yes, I'm managing. Musa shook his head. Voila, no worry. Tomorrow I go bring tuwo for you. Chuka smiled. That was the first kindness he received. Later that day, he saw Adaeze again. She walked past his gate with her head down. Chuka cleared his throat. Good afternoon, madam. She looked up, surprised. You again? He nodded. Still here. She smiled slightly. You're different from the others. Chuka raised an eyebrow. How? You greet with respect. Most guards only shout. Chuka laughed. Maybe I just like people. Adaeze looked at him deeply. Or maybe you've known what it means to be looked down on. Then she walked away. That sentence stayed in his chest. Days turned into weeks. Chuka became part of the place. He was no longer just a billionaire's son. He was Chuka the guard. He cleaned the gates. He opened doors. He helped a woman carry her broken heel to the bus stop. He wiped a child's nose who came crying to the office. And slowly, people started to notice him. Not because of money, but because of his heart. One day, Adaeze sat under the mango tree beside the company fence. Chuka passed and saw her holding her stomach. He stopped. Are you okay? She nodded weakly. Just hungry. He looked into his small nylon bag. One piece of yam and a boiled egg. He stretched the food to her. She refused. No, it's yours. He smiled. I'm full. Please, eat. She took it with shaking hands and whispered, Thank you. He sat beside her. I know hunger. I also know pain, he said softly. She looked at him. You don't look like someone who has suffered. Chuka smiled. Looks can lie. That evening, Adaeze told him a bit about her life. I grew up in a village. My mother died when I was 12, and my uncle tried to marry me off to an old man. I ran away to the city. Now I clean floors and live in a face me, I face you with 5 girls in one room. Chuka's heart broke, but he didn't say, sorry. He said, You're strong. She blinked. Nobody has called me that before. Then she stood up and left. That night, Chuka sat outside the guard post, looking at the stars. He remembered something. His mother once told him before she died, if you want to know a person's heart, live like them. Walk where they walk, eat what they eat. Then you will see who really loves you. Now, he was living it. Inside the mansion where he grew up, his father sat with his driver. Where is Chuka these days? Chief Namdi asked. Baba Femi cleared his throat. Sir, he said he's gonna find love the hard way. Chief Namdi frowned. What nonsense is that? He's working as a security guard at your company. What? Yes, sir. Chief Namdi stood up slowly. Is this how my son wants to disgrace our name? Baba Femi said, maybe he's looking for something money can't buy. Chief Namdi said nothing. He just stared out the window into the night.